Hello, I am Oluwatobi Enitan. Welcome to Telecom Weekly, sponsored by the telecom regulator, the Nigerian Communications Commission, to educate, inform and update you with latest trends, issues, news and developments in the telecom and ICT sector of Nigeria and other parts of the world. At NCC, we want to ensure consumers are well informed to make better choices. In this edition, the federal government says it is proactive in its cybersecurity strategy. NCC and NITDA express commitment to protecting citizens' digital rights. Also in this edition, Society for Corporate Governance seeks partnership with NCC on capacity building. Plus, beneficiaries of free internet services commend federal government. This is the outlook of our outing today, which promises to be educative. Please don't go away.
On NCC Telecom Weekly, we bring you innovations, trends, policies and stakeholders, redefining all sectors of our economy today. Here, you'll see the actors, policymakers and creativity that will shape your mind and business for growth in line with today's reality. Join us every Friday, 5 p.m. on NTN Network and on radio, FRCN Network on Fridays, 8 p.m. NCC, Connecting Nigeria.
Our first story is from the Cybersecurity Capacity Building Workshop held in the nation's capital, Abuja. Professor Isa Ali Ibrahim Pantami, Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, declared the workshop open.
The federal government says its cybersecurity blueprint and operational strategy are anchored on a robust policy framework that places its head on cyber criminals. Professor Isa Ali Ibrahim Pantami, Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, made this known at a two-day cybersecurity capacity building workshop in Abuja. While emphasizing the importance of having a robust cybersecurity strategy, the minister added that the workshop aligned with the National Digital Economy Policy and Strategy, which identifies cybersecurity as priority area given the ever-changing world of technology.
In Nigeria, we have developed many national policies and strategies in order to build our to build our digital economy and consolidate our achievements so far on one hand, and also to ensure that our cyberspace is secured on the other. We have so far a total of 21 national policies that have been developed from 2019 to date, and all of them are being implemented, starting with the National Digital Economy Policy and Strategy for a Digital Nigeria, in which pillar number 7 out of 8 speaks about cybersecurity, that is soft infrastructure, because the more you expand your digital economy, the more you need to be proactive when it comes to cyber security.
In his speech, Professor Umar Garuba Dambata, Executive Vice Chairman and CEO, Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC, stressed the need for a secured cyberspace as well as enhancement of security and integrity of data in the country.
The cyberspace that we are so all proud of accommodates multitude of services must be one that is secure in terms of compatibility of services within the intended operational environment. And I think there's no better time to be talking about how we can be able to secure that environment, for the provision of compatible services, as well as ensuring we enhance the security and integrity of data within that space.
Also touching on the significance of capacity building as a means of tackling challenges in the nation's cyberspace was Dr. Vincent Olatunji, National Commissioner and CEO, National Data Protection Bureau.
We are all aware that the increasing global digitalization has come with attendant challenges, one of which is cybersecurity. And for any economy to grow, for any country to grow, you cannot neglect the issues around capacity building. Because no matter how robust your policies are, no matter how robust your strategies are, no matter how robust your infrastructures are, if you don't have the right caliber of people to mount what you are doing, we'll be deceiving ourselves. And you know, those who commit cyber crimes are always ahead. And for you to catch up, you must continually build capacities, put in place infrastructure to ensure that you catch up with them, but prevent attacks. And when it happens, how do you now mitigate? These are all important issues. And this is where the issue of data protection also comes in. That when you share your data online, whatever you put online, please ensure that you put appropriate measures to ensure proper protection.
Hei Won Lee, Digital Development Specialist at the World Bank headquarters, speaks on the importance of the workshop.
This is really to facilitate the dialogues between different ministries, departments, and agencies, but also different stakeholders to make sure Nigeria is leading the cybersecurity and to make sure it is securing the national priorities in cyberspace.
The two-day cybersecurity capacity building workshop is an initiative of the World Bank in collaboration with the Federal Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy. The workshop is aimed at increasing awareness of cyber threats and impacting digital cutting-edge skills towards mitigating cybersecurity. It will be recalled that the Minister of Communications and Digital Economy revealed the statistics few days after the general elections of how Nigeria recorded about 12.9 million cyber threats, originating from both within and outside the country during the presidential and National Assembly elections, and 3.8 million threats during the governorship and state assembly elections, a development that necessitated the workshop.
Our next story is from the launch of e-rights project held in Abuja by Advocates Sans Frontières, also known as Lawyers Without Borders, based in France.
The nation's telecom regulator, the Nigerian Communications Commission (NCC), and the National Information Technology Development Agency (NITDA) have expressed their commitment to safeguard the country's digital space. They are also committed to the rights of individuals to information, privacy, and data protection. Professor Umar Garuba Dambata, Executive Vice Chairman, EVC NCC, represented by Dr. Chidi Diogo, Head of New Media and Information Security, gave the assurance during the launch of e-rights project in Abuja by Advocates Sans Frontières, ASF, also known as Lawyers Without Borders, from France. It was the position of the EVC that there's need to protect these rights, since the digital and other users' rights in communications and electronic media are becoming more significant in the society with the evolution of technology. On his part, Malam Kashifu Abdullahi, Director General NITDA, represented by Mr. Emmanuel Edet, the agency's head of legal unit, noted that NITDA aligns totally with the e-rights project, considering the astronomical growth in the number of internet users in the country and the need for the protection of their digital rights. The Nigerian Data Protection Bureau, NDPB, and the National Human Rights Commission, NHRC, also promised to throw their weight behind the ASF France towards achieving the objectives of the project. Angela Uzoma Iwuchukwu, the country director of ASF France, explained that the European Union-funded project is aimed at enhancing digital rights in Nigeria. She said the organization advocates that the rights that are respected offline should also be respected online. The e-rights project is an intervention in promoting the rights of individuals to information, freedom of expression, privacy, and data protection in online activities.
You can always be a part of this program by joining us via our multiple social media platforms. For inquiries on this program, you can send a mail to telecomweekly@ncc.gov.ng. For further details about the activities of the Commission, visit www.ncc.gov.ng. Glad to know you are still with us on Telecom Weekly, sponsored by NCC. At NCC, we regulate to achieve a connected Nigeria. The Society for Corporate Governance of Nigeria, SCGN, was at the corporate headquarters of the Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC. Both organizations pledged to work together towards better productivity for the development of Nigeria.
The need to entrench best global practices to promote productivity and corporate peer review mechanism has again been emphasized. This was the message when the Society of Corporate Governance of Nigeria, SCGN, visited the Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC, at its corporate headquarters in Abuja. Tijani Mohammed Borodo, a board member of the Society for Corporate Governance of Nigeria who led the team, commended NCC for regulating to promote best global practices in corporate governance. He affirmed his society's commitment to promoting excellence in all sectors of the economy, including the telecom sector.
The Society is aware of the Commission's work being done on its corporate governance guidelines, and it is in the light of that the Society would like to express its interest in collaborating with the Commission to sensitize and create awareness of the guidelines within the communication sector and organizations regulated by the Commission. We can provide a framework for compliance and reporting of the anticipated corporate governance guidelines. The Society is desirous of partnering and collaborating with the Commission to promote good corporate governance and foster best practices in the communications sector and the country at large.
Borodo added that SCGN cuts across both private and public sector to enhance efficiency. He said the visit is to explore a partnership with NCC in aspects of capacity building for the telecom sector in line with the Commission's Code for Corporate Governance.
When the Commission did its first set of codes, we partnered with them, and now it's being revised. That's why we came and say, we've had a long relationship with you, we want to be part of this, and apart from you, also the industries you regulate, the different companies you regulate, we want to be part and parcel to ensure that there is good corporate governance in the telecoms industry.
Barrister Adeleke Adeolu, the Executive Commissioner, Stakeholder Management, NCC, who received officials of the Society on behalf of Professor Umar Garuba Dambata, the Executive Vice Chairman, NCC, assured them of the Commission's readiness to collaborate with the body.
The SGN was indeed instrumental to the development of the Telecommunications Industry Code of Corporate Governance, which was issued by the NCC as far back as 2014. Without doubt, that instrument is a pioneer code which was carefully designed to enhance corporate governance in the Nigerian communications industry, and which in itself led to the development of similar instruments by other sectors of the Nigerian economy. However, the NCC has long realized that critical elements of its statutory mandate as set out under the Nigerian Communications Act 2003, such as consumer protection, fair and reasonable competition, environmentally sustainable business models, etc., can only be realized when sectoral players adhere to the best corporate governance practices and ethical standards.
The Executive Commissioner Stakeholder Management noted that the SCGN played a role in the establishment of the telecom sector's Code of Corporate Governance. Barrister Adeolu speaks on some areas of mutually beneficial cooperation and partnership for corporate governance for the telecom sector.
Any code or guideline issued at a particular point in time must be periodically reviewed to ensure that it's catching up with any new innovations, any new developments, any changes in the sector. And this is something that we'll be doing. The Society for Corporate Governance has offered us their support as well in ensuring that ongoing. They create awareness, they sensitize the public, they sensitize stakeholders within the industry, and they constantly help us to monitor compliance with the code going forward. So these are the kind of collaboration we're looking at.
Responding to some of the issues raised, Alhaji Diko Ibrahim, another SCGN board member, expressed delight at the foresight of the NCC in putting in place a code of corporate governance and a subsequent review to accommodate the dynamics in the industry.
I think by everybody abiding by it, and it helps improve the level playing field in terms of how we all operate and doing things above board and with good governance. And then it also gives a lot of confidence to the public at large that the telecoms players are well run and well governed.
Ngozi further shed light on some of the efforts of the SCGN and the need to have the members of staff of the NCC to join the body as corporates and individuals.
Our membership, over 500 of them, tend to spread the corporate governance news or the gospel across various sectors. And my plea or my request to the asset management is to increase that membership by inviting NCC to join the society, one as a corporate member, because we have the NDIC as a corporate member, so regulatory bodies typically can join as members. Then also the senior management of NCC to be recommended for membership, individual membership. The benefit of this is a continuous access to information around corporate governance, real-time information, not just corporate governance information locally, but also international best practices.
Coming shortly, beneficiaries of federal government's free internet service speak on the gains of the gesture. That will be after this short break. Please stay with us.
The Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC, has harmonized new short codes for all mobile network operators in Nigeria. The new common short codes are as follows: call center and help desk 300, voicemail deposit 301, voicemail retrieval 302, borrow services 303, stop service 305, check balance 310, credit recharge 311, data plan 312, share service 321, data plan balance 323, verification of SIM registration and NIN SIM linkage 996, DND do not disturb 2442, porting services, mobile number portability 3232. The new mobile network operators' common short codes can be used across all networks. Telecom consumers are also advised to contact their service providers for more information. Please note, the new and old short codes will work concurrently till May 17, 2023. NCC, connecting Nigeria.
Recall that the federal government recently approved the provision of broadband connectivity for free internet services at some institutions, airports, and markets across Nigeria. Here are the reactions of some Nigerians on the federal government's gesture.
As part of a push to further speed up broadband penetration, Professor Isa Ali Ibrahim Pantami, Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, announced the federal government's approval to provide broadband connectivity to over 75 locations across the country. At a press conference in Abuja, Professor Pantami presented the project to beneficial tertiary institutions, the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria, FAN, on behalf of airports and some markets. The minister noted that the project is intended to ease communication challenges and make for seamless online transactions.
We converge here once again for the second and third phases of our broadband provision in public and private institutions. In the second and the third phases here, we have provision for 20 airports, 6 additional markets, 49 higher institutions of learning. At that time, I was challenged politely and wisely by the ES of MBTE, Professor Idris Bogaje, that polytechnics were left out, even though he did so politely. But I took it as a challenge. And I'm glad to say they are the major beneficiaries of this phase.
The nation's airports are currently served by paid internet services and those provided as complimentary services bundled with subscriptions to premium lounges and eateries. The provision of accessible broadband connectivity under the federal government's project will now serve airport users and other members of the public that are within the airport vicinity at no cost. In response to this development, users of telecom products and services in the country are already expressing enthusiasm over the project, which the country's telecom regulator, the Nigerian Communications Commission (NCC), will implement over a 5-month period.
There was an allusion here about the status of airports. It is true, airports are connecting points. But most importantly, the connectivity is just one that you see superficially. Airports are social and economic enablers for all of modern society.
In the aspect of their current state of internet connectivity, Telecom Weekly found that access to internet in some of the tertiary institutions, libraries, and computer and ICT centers is inadequate. This is largely due to insufficient internet infrastructure and connectivity in these institutions. The project will thus address the resulting student reliance on private and commercial internet cyber cafes, both on and off campuses, potentially ending inequitable access to the internet.
We've always had the free Wi-Fi, but it was not full coverage of the entire campus. So with this new one that we are going to have, it's going to make the entire campus. There will be availability of hotspots for students, for staff. Anywhere they are, they will get it.
The broadband connectivity, no doubt, is always desirable in a research institute or in any place where knowledge is being manufactured. We actually were benefiting from the NCC earlier, from the provision of a 20 Mbps throughput for the last 3 or 4 years. But of course, given the level of research activities, given the number of people that come around, the 20 Mbps throughput wasn't enough. So with this new one, we don't know what the throughput will be, but they say it's the broadband, so that is limitless. And I believe that to a large extent is going to aid the digitalization process that we are currently undergoing within the institute.
Our institution has been grappling with the need to have broadband connectivity. In 2019, we launched a Smart Campus initiative, but because these things are usually not in the part of our budget, part of the capital appropriation, it's difficult to implement. So we are struggling to implement this program, and so we are very happy to have this initiative of the Honorable Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, and the initiative of Mr. President as well, to have institutions benefit from this very important program.
It would be recalled that in continuation of the federal government's digital economy drive, the Federal Executive Council FEC meeting chaired by the President, Muhammadu Buhari, approved the deployment of free broadband connectivity and access to selected airports, markets, and institutions of higher learning in the country.
This is where we draw the curtain on this week's episode of Telecom Weekly. Before we go, don't forget you can always be a part of this program by joining us via our multiple social media platforms. For inquiries on this program, you can send a mail to telecomweekly@ncc.gov.ng. For further details on the activities of the Commission, visit www.ncc.gov.ng. Telecom Weekly is brought to you by the Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC. NCC, keeping telecom consumers well informed and satisfied. Until we come your way again next week, I am Oluwatobi Enitan saying bye for now.